When Sebastian Vettel announced his retirement from Formula 1 earlier in the season, it set off a chain reaction in the driver market. A chain reaction which left Alpine scrambling. Fernando Alonso decided that he was going to leave the team to join Aston Martin to replace Vettel for next year onwards. Meanwhile, reserve driver Oscar Piastri decided to move to McLaren in controversial circumstances to replace Daniel Ricciardo. So from a position of strength of having the most experienced driver and one of the most talented drivers in Formula 1, as well as the hottest prospect in Formula 1 on their books, they went to searching for a replacement. And, at the end of the day, they ended up getting Pierre Gasly in. And Pierre Gasly arguably fits the Alpine mould more than any other driver on the grid. So in one sense, it could be an absolute dream matchup. And he will be partnering fellow Frenchman Esteban Ocon. Gasly, Ocon, Alpine, all French. What could go wrong? Well, I think a lot could go wrong. I think this could get pretty feisty. The two were childhood friends, back in the day. But as they made their way up the ranks, they had some personal differences. Now, it doesn't look as though it was anything too bad, nothing that, they hate each other or anything like that, just that they don't get along. And, we've seen over the past that the two of them can be quite fiery characters. Gasly has been outstanding in his time at AlphaTauri. Look, granted, he's had a bit of a rough season this season, but I think he's shown that he can cause a little bit of trouble sometimes. You see at Red Bull, we went there, I know he only got, maybe 8 or 9 races in the main Red Bull team. Whatever he did, off the track during his time there, must have been pretty bad, because they never once considered bringing him back. There was always talk coming out of the main Red Bull team that no matter how badly Alex Albon or Sergio Perez were performing and how good Gasly was performing at AlphaTauri, there was always a feeling that he had no chance of making it back into that team, that he had ruffled some feathers, in a big way there. And he's being partnered up with someone in Esteban Ocon who has never shied away from arguments with teammates. Now look, he's gotten on well with Daniel Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso over the last couple of years at Renault and Alpine. Well, you think back to his Force India days, him and Perez were trying to put each other in the wall every other week, it seemed like. So I think there is a real potential problem in the works for Alpine somewhere down the line. If they do somehow manage to put together a car that's capable of competing for race wins and for podiums, one of those guys is going to have to take the lead. I think that could lead to a Rosberg-Hamilton situation. Maybe not on as big a scale, but I think they both have some fire in their belly. And if you give them a car where they're going to be competing not only with the likes of Verstappen and Hamilton and Leclerc, but are competing with each other for race wins and podiums, there is going to be some heated moments between the two of them, I think. I think that's just in their nature. It's on paper, it's a dream lineup. They're two very consistent drivers. They're both young. They're both French. Alpine is French. It could not look more perfect on paper, but I just can't see this ending well. I think they might be okay for a while. I don't think they're gonna start punching the head off each other 5 minutes after getting together at the start of next season. But within 12 months to a year, if they are competing for big honours, then we could see some fire. In terms of who I think will come out on top between the two, I think it could be one of the most closely matched pairings on the grid next season. I do give the edge slightly to Gasly, but Ocon has proven me wrong before. I think he's doing a very, very good job. He's getting very, very consistent. But I just rate Gasly that slight bit higher, but it could go either way. Anyway, let me know down below what you think. Do you think that Ocon and Gasly could come to blows sooner rather than later at Alpine? Do you think they'll get on in perfect harmony? And let me know who you think will come out on top between the two of them next year and over the years ahead. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.